A Liverpool win and the heat really is on Manchester United. A Newcastle win and they are right back in it. The stakes really couldn't be too much higher. It's Anfield live on the Monday Night Football. Liverpool and Newcastle United with Trevor Francis and Alan Parry.
Well, not since the great Bill Shankly became manager 38 years ago have Liverpool gone so long without winning the league title. And if that record is to end this season, this is a game they surely must win against the team guided by one of Anfield's greatest ever heroes. Kenny Dalglish, 14 years here as player and manager and winner of 17 major trophies. But it's his team who stand in Liverpool's way tonight, and defeat for Newcastle would almost certainly end their hopes of the Championship. It really is that important. And it's a perfect night for football. A huge crowd, tremendous atmosphere. They've been arriving at the ground since 3 o'clock this afternoon. And you can reach out and almost touch the tension and the mood of excitement inside Anfield tonight. Liverpool third in the table, Newcastle United fourth. And it's Newcastle United in the famous stripes who will get us underway, attacking the Kop end. If it's half as good as that epic encounter here last season, it's a match that will have you glued to your screens for the rest of the night. On that occasion, Newcastle United led twice in the game, only to lose dramatically 4-3 in the final minute. A goal by Stan Collymore, resigned to the substitutes bench tonight. Here's John Barnes, Patrick Berger. Bjornaby looking for Fowler. Peacock is the defender. And did enough to hustle Fowler into the mistake. Newcastle's throw. If Newcastle should lose tonight, they'd be 8 points adrift of Liverpool and 9 behind Manchester United with 10 games to play. It would give them a near impossible task to win the Championship. They must see it that way.
A lot of speculation, Alan, just how Newcastle were going to play. We've got it right. They've certainly got 5 in midfield. But there's no suggestion at the moment that anybody's going to pick up McManaman.
Matteo brings the ball from the back for Liverpool. John Barnes. And Matteo under pressure from Gillespie. Mark Wright back in the side after a groin injury which forced him to miss the European game last week. McAteer. The layoff by McManaman was sloppy. And Newcastle proved that they are equally adept at a slow, cultured build-up. And that lovely little turn by Elliott opens up space suddenly for Warren Barton. But Matteo proved what a good reader of the game he is for such a young and relatively inexperienced defender. Surrounded by 2 Liverpool players. Bjornaby got the challenge in. And Watson does the sensible thing again and goes back in order to keep possession. Albert, Beardsley. Albert looks for a spree, a crunching challenge from behind by Wright. The referee's wave play on and it's fallen Liverpool's way till Batty dispossessed Fowler. Now Albert again. This is Robbie Elliott. Lee Clark. And an inevitable start to this game with both teams very cautiously feeling each other out. I remember when they met at St James's Park just before Christmas, there was a very dramatic start to that game with Liverpool straight from the kickoff going on to the attack and getting the ball in the Newcastle net only for the goal to be ruled out for offside. Liverpool players already have a touch of the ball. Arms more than most in typical fashion.
Yes, and also the back 3, Alan. It's just Asprilla there. The back 3 can have it all night. Newcastle won't mind that.
McAteer wide on the right. McManaman. Key figure as ever, running at players. Barnes for Liverpool. Little ball down the outside for Berger. That's a useful cross, but it was just deflected by Peacock, and that took the sting out of it.
Good ball there from Barnes, but an excellent run from Berger. Well tracked by Peacock, who just gets a touch into the safe hands of his lot.
Cultured little header back from Wright, who is such an influential figure. Liverpool sorely missed him against Branbergen. Neil Ruddock, who took his place, had a rather shaky night, and he's amongst the Liverpool substitutes tonight. McManaman. Bjornaby, the overlapping fullback on his left. Redknapp to Matteo. Barnes, Berger, lovely ball from Matteo. Good build-up this by Liverpool. Bjornaby. The throw's been taken quickly to Matteo. McManaman. Batty makes the challenge. Liverpool keep possession though with Barnes. Obama helps it on to Wright. McAteer. Redknapp available in the middle. And Matteo takes another opportunity to come forward. The early pattern established already with a lot of possession for Liverpool. This is Dominic Matteo again. Only Berger in the box at the moment. So it goes wide to Redknapp.
Well, it's all Liverpool, isn't it? Getting plenty of possession. Only problem with Newcastle claiming one up. We do tend to invite this sort of pressure.
Peter Beardsley captaining Newcastle tonight. Wright gets it away from Asprilla, but Barton is forward, and in support of him is Clark. Now Beardsley again. Barton to his left. Asprilla. Pavard with the defender, and that's a good tackle. No wonder they've been so impressed with the way he's settling quickly. Wasn't eligible for the Cup Winners' Cup ties. The first game he's missed, in fact. Clark. Now Elliott for Newcastle. Beardsley's layoff. Albert. This is Batty. And given away to Redknapp. Bjornaby has the space closed down by Gillespie. McManaman available though, and now Redknapp. It's a fascinating contest of high-speed tactics already, this.
Yes, it's quite noticeable that Dominic Matteo is being encouraged to get forward as often as possible. They're happy to leave Wright and Cavano back. 2-on-1 against Asprilla. Matteo's getting forward whenever possible.
Barnes wins it back, and then Berger keeps possession for Liverpool. McAteer on the right. Redknapp. Matteo seeing a lot of the ball in the opening 6 or 7 minutes here. McManaman. Bjornaby, normally a very good crosser of the ball, and finds McManaman on the near post. Good defending there by Darren Peacock. McManaman available again from the throw. Well, he's not necessarily just a very gifted player. He's proved there that he can mix it as well when it comes to a tackle. Liverpool have only 9 matches left after tonight, and just 3 of those, incidentally, at Anfield. 6 away games in their run-in to the end of the season. They've still got to play Manchester United here, Arsenal and Everton away. And Everton, of course, has a special edge to it. Can Roy Evans provide the title that Anfield hasn't seen for 7 years now? Batty wins it back, but he's given it away to Fowler. Now McManaman. Berger ahead of him. McAteer arrives in time to win a corner, in fact, off Philippe Albert.
That all started through Spreer's inability to keep possession. I mentioned this before the game. It's vitally important that he tries to keep that ball in there.
A quickly taken corner. Redknapp plays it in. Away by Albert. Berger with the shot. Well, it's a long time since he scored in the Premiership. 5 months now since Liverpool's 5-1 victory here against Chelsea.
But it falls nicely, doesn't it, for him? He just drags it wide of the post. Good shooting opportunity, though. Peacock comes to close him down.
Liverpool start from the back again. Matteo. Berger. This is Bjornovic. And Berger got a little crack as he played the ball away from Barton, but he's back on his feet. Liverpool have won 15 games in the Premiership this season, drawn 8 and lost 5, and it's interesting that since the Premiership started, no champions have lost more than 6 games in a season. So whatever happens from here on in, this is surely a match that Liverpool can't afford to lose. Indeed, they must win. Started as though they're in the mood to underline the importance of the occasion here. Barnes took his eye off the ball, but Redknapp was on hand to retrieve it. Now McManaman again. Redknapp. 5 Liverpool red shirts ahead of him. Matteo is one of them. Across too deep for Berger. Elliott heads it clear and Liverpool have the throw. Play by McAteer, who was unlucky. Played in every game for Liverpool this season, Jason McAteer. Spreer touching it on to Barton. Redknapp makes the tackle, but Spreer's back in possession. It's a terrific run by Spreer. Did really well. Gillespie. Spreer and Barton ahead of him in the Liverpool box. Clark in support. That was a loose ball, straight to Redknapp. And on it goes to Fowler. Peacock did the right thing then. He was canny. He knew what he was doing. The Liverpool fans thought it was obstruction against Fowler, but Peacock proved how important experience can be then.
Yes, it's a good decision by Ellery not to blow for a free kick. Excellent ball from Redknapp, playing into the space. Nice early ball, that's what Fowler appreciates.
It's gone out of play. Newcastle have a throw. Newcastle with 3 successive league wins against Everton, Leicester and Middlesbrough. Then they lost at home to Southampton. That put a dent in that run of form. Batty sliding it in here. Redknapp got it clear and Liverpool break with Berger. On it goes for Fowler, too deep I think. He's kept it in at least. And McAteer's thundering forward in support. Berger. The ball goes into the box, but Barton's the man who meets it. Clark, Spreer, surrounded by Liverpool defenders. It's going to be a long, hard battle for Tino Spreer tonight. Barnes, McManaman. From inside Watson cleverly. And slips it into the path of Fowler. But Newcastle defend impeccably.
It's noticeable, you know, when Liverpool had that break, Fowler went wide, he crossed into the middle. There's only 2 Liverpool players in the box, outnumbered by 8 Newcastle players.
This is Watson and Gillespie. David Batty. Newcastle haven't lost an away game, by the way, since they went down 1-0 at Blackburn on Boxing Day. Since then, they've won at Middlesbrough and drawn matches at Southampton and Aston Villa. Their recent league form is good. It's a good ball from Matteo. McManaman on to Berger. Bjornaby. Only Fowler in the box for Liverpool at the moment. And that's a goal kick. Steve Watson scored the winning goal here last season when they met in a Coca-Cola Cup tie, and indeed scored the winning goal against Liverpool at St James's Park in the other Premiership match between the two.
I actually thought that was a corner, Alan. I thought it came off the foot of Watson.
Here finds Fowler. Got good control. Barnes on to McManaman. Berger, the only advanced Liverpool player at the moment. Bjornaby getting forward down the left touchline. McManaman goes alone.
He was just caught in two minds there. Great run. He's allowed to come inside Barton. He looks up. He's not sure whether he wants to drive it or chip it. A little bit caught in two minds.
15 minutes gone, the match still goalless, but the edge there clearly for all to see. Wright wins the header, it's gone to Batty. Watson. Aspria stood up well to the physical challenge from Wright, and then Kavama got a good tackle in. And clear to see where most of the action has been so far. McManaman. Matteo on another run forward. Won back well low by Newcastle. Now they've given it away to McManaman. That's a corner. Liverpool's first. On this side anyway, they got an early one before, which they took very quickly. Gillespie making the tackle.
Yes, it was carelessly given away by Philippe Albert, straight to the feet of McManaman.
As usual, Liverpool get on with things quickly. Redknapp playing it in over the head of Wright and indeed of Fowler. Goal kick. Robbie Fowler scored 2 in that famous 4-3 win last season and has 23 goals in 34 matches for Liverpool this season. McAteer. Berger takes up a good position, but the ball to find him wasn't accurate. Liverpool settled for a throw. Savannah turned cleverly then and finds Berger. And his favoured left foot, his earlier shot was on the right. Fowler. Peacock got it cleared. It's back to Berger again.
Well, I think we're going to see plenty of shots from outside the box. Not easy trying to penetrate this Newcastle rear guard. I don't think David James has actually touched the ball, has he?
He certainly hasn't had to make a save. Liverpool leading on goal attempts, leading on possession, but not leading on the scoreline. In fact, Liverpool haven't scored in either of their 2 Premiership matches before tonight, and they only managed 1 point out of them as well. They drew here against Blackburn, and they missed a host of chances, particularly Robbie Fowler, and then lost, of course, at Aston Villa. bit of space opens up ahead of Pavama. Redknapp. Oh dear.
At times, Newcastle are virtually playing with a back six. The two wide players, Gillespie and Beardsley, are coming back to try and stop Bjornaby and McAteer from getting forward. They've got a line of 6 players. Very, very difficult for Liverpool to penetrate.
Certainly, Kenny Dalglish, a very different sort of personality to Kevin Keegan, and the Newcastle team under Keegan reflected their manager's love of the game and entertainment and willingness, indeed, desire to go forward. Kenny Dalglish, ever the realist, ever the pragmatist, has produced a less adventurous style of play, but one that might ultimately prove more successful for Newcastle. We shall see. Here's McManaman for Liverpool. Barnes. McAteer continues the attack. Now Liverpool have 4 men in the penalty area. Peacock touches it away to one of them, Bjornaby. And a loose ball. Oh, that was a wild, wild effort from Jason McAteer, and no wonder he's angry with himself.
I think he's got to get into the box more often. Whenever this ball's on his left-hand side, he's got to get in there. He arrives late here. Doesn't fall kindly to him. He has to hit it first time with his left foot. But it's certainly an opportunity for Liverpool.
Still waiting for his first Premiership goal for the club. All 3 of his goals have come in the FA Cup so far. Patty, Gillespie, Barton. This is Watson. It's a good ball out to Elliott. Now Albert. And when you see even Albert not tempted to stray more than 20 yards from his own penalty box, you know that this is a different, a new look Newcastle United under Kenny Dalglish. And they're putting Liverpool under pressure in their own half now. Good noise from the Newcastle fans at the end. Liverpool are attacking the Anfield Road end of the ground, which incidentally will be rebuilt to house a big double-decker stand by next season. There's McAteer. And Barnes has to go all the way back into his own half. It wasn't a very good ball either. And Pavama did really, really well then against the Sprea. That could have been a fatal error from Barnes. Now Matteo's given it away, and Liverpool's passing game is suddenly looking rather ragged in the last few minutes.
Well, that's exactly what Newcastle wants. 1 or 2 passes to go astray. The Liverpool faithful start getting on the players' backs. That's what Kenny Dalglish is hoping for.
Elliott looking for the run from Clark down the centre. Barton and Sprea arriving in the box. Only Barton there at the moment. Matteo won it ahead of him. Berger's clearance. Albert wins it back. Good spell this for Newcastle United. And again, Pavama to Liverpool's rescue. And a good ball out as well. McManaman. Fowler. McManaman again. These 2 linking well. Oh, good ball from McManaman. McAteer down the right. Liverpool have 3, now 4 in the penalty area. Bjornaby on the far post.
Well, everything was right about that move except for the final header from Bjornaby. Great little bit of football from McManaman and Fowler. Good ball to McAteer. This is an excellent cross to the back post. Just look at the position that Bjornaby takes up. Gets in, should have headed it back across goal. Very, very poor header, but great play from Liverpool.
Could have added to his impressive total, 4 goals this season. He hadn't even scored for Liverpool before that. And this is his 5th season at Anfield. Here's McManaman. Bjornaby again available on the left if he wants it. Goes to Berger. He battled well for it, but so did Gillespie. In fact, he might have battled a little too hard for referee Ellery's liking then, because he's about to be cautioned for the challenge on Bjornaby.
Yes, it was slightly high, this tackle from Gillespie. About 2 foot, I would say, too high.
First caution of the game for Keith Gillespie. Gone above Wright's head again. It's a poor free kick, easy for Hislop, and a tremendous throw by the keeper. But on the first bounce, it's crossed the line. Liverpool have the throw, and Asprilla a little frustrated.
Well, so was Warren Barton, because he made a great forward run on this opposite side here. But Hislop elected to throw it into the area of Asprilla, and only succeeded in putting it out for a touch.
McManaman now takes on Barton. Redknapp. Matteo to Barnes. Newcastle are working tremendously hard to close Liverpool down at every opportunity and try to knock them off their passing game. Certainly if you let Liverpool settle, it's fatal, but there's a near-fatal error. The ball right across his own box there, and Albert just about got there.
Problem is that when they break up possession, they've got nowhere to go. They're reluctant to throw it forward because there's no real physical presence in Asprilla. They can play it into his feet. He's very, very happy, but anything put up in the air becomes too easy for Mark Wright. They just lose possession every time.
Batty trying to release the overlapping Watson. Oops. I don't think he meant to do that for one moment. Mattio's got a crack on the head from the advertising board, but I think that was a genuine challenge by Watson, and Matteo's not complaining. Well done, Matteo there. More hysterical reaction by the opposing player could have had the Newcastle man in trouble.
It's certainly foreign territory this for Watson. He hasn't moved out of his right back station. Certainly for 26 minutes, first time he's ventured forward.
It's a good ball, McManaman feeding Barnes. Now Jamie Redknapp. Obama. Fowler's layoff to Redknapp. So difficult to find any room. Barnes. Matteo. McManaman. And Bjornaby as ever, the outlet on the left. And that'll be a corner off Gillespie. Well, in such a tight contest, set pieces could be even more important than usual. Mark Wright coming forward for this kick. He will tend to take them quickly and short, but I think this time it might be launched in. And it is. And straight back out again from David Batty. Bjornaby makes another cross, right coming in, but when you're 6'6", they are easy meat. Tallest keeper in the Premiership, Shaka Hislop. Played the last dozen games, and in fact won back his place in the side last season after Cernicek had conceded 4 goals in the corresponding game here at Anfield. Albert knocks it long, and Asprilla did well then. Not too many out-head Mark Wright.
Well, that's the first time he's found himself actually one-on-one.
And it goes without saying what a blow it is to be without both Shearer and Ferdinand. They've already got 41 goals between them this season. Matteo. Redknapp. McAteer makes the run down the right. It's a lovely ball to pick him out. Fowler, let it run on to McManaman. Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant goal.
Well, it's a wonderful ball this from Redknapp, inch perfect, great control from McAteer, it comes inside, good little ball in. This is a really tremendous finish. McManaman just needs the one touch, just looks up, picks his spot, brilliant finish. Great accuracy, just curls it around Watson, Hislop has got no chance.
Coming up to half an hour gone in this crucial Premiership match, and Liverpool are in front. Steve McManaman the scorer. And here's Berger on the chase, but offside. Well, the last time Steve McManaman scored a Premiership goal was that bizarre effort at Tottenham. Fowler could be on for one here for Liverpool. It's hit the post and it's in. Liverpool have scored two in a minute. Berger celebrates, and Liverpool edge closer to Manchester United at the top.
Well, it's a mistake from Batty. It's closed down quickly by McManaman. Plays it inside out there for Fowler. Hits the post. A good follow-up play from Berger. Right foot. 2-0 to Liverpool. Excellent pressing that was McManaman. Cool finish from Berger. Empty net. He's not going to miss that.
Well, who would have believed it? With Newcastle playing so well, holding out so impressively, restricting Liverpool to hardly a chance, it has to be said, in that opening 28-29 minutes. Now Liverpool have got two. 70 seconds, in fact, separated the two goals. Kamama turns in his own penalty area and gets out of trouble well. Redknapp. Here's Berger. Fowler in the middle. McManaman arriving. Liverpool on fire here at the moment. Well, what drama we have now.
Well, there's only one thing on Berger's mind, that's to get onto his left foot. Well, Liverpool have been rewarded for their patience. And certainly Kenny Dalglish now has got something to think about. He's got to change his tactics. 2-0 down after half an hour. He can't continue with just Astria as the front player. He's got to come up with something different.
And that was the signal, that second Liverpool goal, in just over a minute for Les Ferdinand to be sent out onto the track to warm up. He's got a hamstring injury. I thought at lunchtime today he was going to be all right to play. He trained this morning, had a bit of a stiff reaction to the injury, and that's why they decided not to risk him in the starting lineup. But it might not be long before we see him now, because the whole complexion of this game has been changed in the most dramatic style in 70 seconds by two Liverpool goals.
The pause that McManaman played Alan in both goals. Great opening goal, terrific individual play from McManaman. But then let's not forget the part he played in the second one. It was his pressing that dispossessed Batty that provided the ball for Fowler.
Berger gets it forward to McManaman. Fowler in the middle, McAteer arriving in support. I think the word greedy comes to mind there.
No, I just think it was misplaced, Alan. I don't think he was trying to go there. He looked up, he saw Fowler in the box. He saw McManaman coming late. Sorry, McAteer coming late from a wide area. He just tried to play into that area with his left foot. Slightly misplaced into the hands of Hislop. I'm sure that Roy Evans will forgive him for that little mistake.
Now Astria has it. Barton to his left. Now he did well, but not quite well enough to keep it in play. Well, here's how the game exploded into life.
This is the goal from McManaman. One touch, looks up, little curling shot with the inside of his right foot. Just picks his spot. Terrific accuracy. shot from Fowler, back off the post. Certainly good fortune favours Liverpool because it falls straight to Berger. And he's not going to make a mistake from that sort of distance.
Well, Newcastle must have been thinking that their game plan was going really well, restricting Liverpool to not a sniff at Hislop's goal for 29 minutes, and then by 30 minutes and a few seconds, they found themselves 2 down. And listen to the noise.
That's what I'm on about. You've got to keep possession in those sort of areas. Asprilla tried to play it 1 touch. Surely been better with 2 touch and made sure that he kept hold of the ball.
Oh, there's a lovely ball from Bjornaby to McManaman. He's got Fowler in support. Held it up nicely. Berger's there again. Good tackle. He's still got possession. Now he's claiming there was a handball, but the referee has said play on. Irresistible attacking play from Liverpool now. Obama, Barnes. Matteo. Bjornaby finding McManaman. Now Redknapp. This is Bjornaby. Berger well placed in the middle. He wins the header.
Well, that was a good chance that for Berger. Excellent ball in from Bjornaby. Here's the cross, measured from Bjornaby. Berger there gets in front of Albert. Free header. Could have been 3. Well, that's handball, surely, from Albert.
No wonder Berger protested so loud. That should have been a penalty. Completely missed by David Ellery.
But once again, it was great play from McManaman. Could have shot, waited for the support from Berger. Was played into his path. Berger could have hit it first time. He tried to come inside. It certainly looked like a penalty to me. Clear handball.
And a bit of hesitation there between Matteo and David James. Asprilla almost benefited. He's got it again. Goes down under the challenge from Wright. No free kick has been given. Well, sometimes referees need eyes in the back of their head to see things going on, but you just wonder what the linesman on that side was doing. I think Liverpool are still complaining that they should have had a penalty. It's a bit late now, but how come he didn't see that handball? Asprilla finding Barton. The referee has seen an infringement. Liverpool get a free kick.
Yeah, there's no attempt, is it, by Asprilla to play this ball, just barges into Wright.
Well, what does Kenny Dalglish do about this situation now? If they came here with a lineup designed to hold Liverpool, that's fallen apart, that particular plan.
Well, he's got 8 minutes, hasn't he, to get through to half-time. I wouldn't think you want to make a change at this moment, but certainly at half-time I would think Kenny will have to do something.
Watson. And whereas Newcastle have been passing it fairly confidently, now there's an obvious edginess about them. Asprilla did well there. To be fair, he's hasn't got great physical gifts in terms of Ferdinando Rushira, but he's putting himself about. He is causing some problems to the Liverpool defence. But how badly he needs some support up there. Now the linesman has spotted a handball when it's near the halfway line, and it doesn't really matter. Liverpool get a free kick. Clark the culprit. Now Barnes. Good run here from Fowler, and a very good interception by Elliott.
Yes, it was good defending that, because Robbie Fowler tried to get in between Albert and Elliott. Elliott, excellently timed tackle.
And another free kick goes against Asprilla. I thought David Ellery was a bit harsh on him then. McManaman. Bjornaby. Ooh, wasn't a bad cross, but a bit too close to Hislop in the end. Elliott bringing Newcastle forward. How they need a goal before half-time to give them some hope here. But you can't really see it at the moment. They have not really posed a threat in the Liverpool half. McManaman. Fowler lays it off. It's not accurate. Gillespie has it for Newcastle. Robbie Elliott. He looks to open it out. Peacock. Watson's got a bit of room ahead of him. Bria wasn't an easy ball, and Bjornaby won it well. Just remind you what's coming up later in the week on Sky, and another massive match live on this channel tomorrow. Tune to Sky Sports 3 for Wimbledon against Leicester, second leg of the Coca-Cola Cup semi-final. There has to be a winner, there has to be a Wembley finalist. And then on Thursday, the newcomers, the youngsters, Northern Ireland against England, that's Schoolboy International. Our programme starts on Sky Sports 1 at 7 o'clock. But here it is the dizzy heights of the Premiership and the Championship that is in mind. And Liverpool, with 5 minutes of the half remaining, have got themselves an impressive platform to reduce the gap between themselves and the reigning champions, Manchester United. And if Liverpool win tonight, they'll be just a point behind Manchester United. They'll have played the same number of games, and Liverpool already have a better goal difference. McManaman. Right. On to McAteer. Liverpool have got 5-6 in the penalty area here. Good catch by Hislop. He had to get that.
It's all too easy, wasn't it, the way Liverpool released McAteer in that wide area.
Well, certainly used the full width of the pitch to great effect. Bjornaby particularly down the left and McAteer on the right. Well played Batty for Newcastle. Martin. And Liverpool have it back. Redknapp. There's a long one for Fowler. And it's reached him. It could be 3. What a half for Liverpool!
What a ball by Redknapp that was. Absolutely top class. Just plays it into the space. Fowler gets it behind Albert. There's only one winner here. But what a finish again. Fowler's still got a lot to do. Hislop advances, one-on-one. Terrific finish.
Ferguson will be shifting a little uneasily in his armchair watching this tonight, I fancy, because this has been a stunning first half performance from Liverpool, and Hislop has gifted the ball back to them again. Berger. And still Newcastle toil to get away from their own penalty area.
Fantastic ball from Redknapp, but once again question marks against Newcastle's defending. One ball completely caught out Albert and Peacock. No covering player there. Fowler's onto it. He loves those situations. One-on-one with the keeper. He finishes absolutely superbly. Deserved to score the second one, hit the post, but he gets his reward with the third goal. Really, that's put Liverpool in an invincible position.
Steve Watson. And Jamie Redknapp, here's his name being sung by the cop, and that must be sweet music. It's been a frustrating season for him. Illness, injuries, and an almost permanent place on the substitute bench for much of it. But back in the team and doing well and contributing tremendously to Liverpool's first half display here.
Yes, certainly he has. I mean, his 2 passes for the second goal, which provided The ball from McAteer to get the cross. Well, the first goal, I should say, wasn't it? The first goal that provided the cross. And then that last goal there is absolutely superb. Two passes, the highest quality. Great midfield play from Redknapp, great vision and superb passing skills.
And a sobering thought for Newcastle United. Liverpool have the best defensive record in the Premiership. They conceded only 21 in their 28 league games before tonight, and only one of those in the last 6 games, the one which beat them at Aston Villa. In fact, they haven't conceded a goal here at Anfield this year. And Liverpool, for sure, will not take their foot off the pedal in the second half. Newcastle, for sure, will change it, must change it tactically. So you won't get the impression that this game is all over at half-time in terms of the entertainment value. I'm sure it's not that.
Well, we'll also establish, Alan, just how fit Les Ferdinand is. Because if he's fit enough, he's got to come on.
Effervescent performance by Liverpool, particularly in the last 15 minutes or so, when they've come alive. McManaman couldn't find Fowler, and to the blessed relief of everyone involved with Newcastle United, the half-time whistle has sounded. McManaman at the heart of the torment that the visitors suffered in a magical 15 minutes or so for Liverpool. Fabulous goal there by Steve McManaman. Started the rot. Batty caught in possession. Berger sliding in when the ball came back off the post from Fowler's initial shot. 2-0 in 70 seconds, and it was going to get better even for Liverpool. They could hardly contain their delight at that moment. But there was more to come for Liverpool, who made it 3 just before half-time. What a half we've had here.
He takes on Delroy Bryan. That's boxing live this Friday, Sky Sports 1 at 9:30. Right now, Liverpool and Newcastle United. 3-0 Liverpool at half-time. No goals for half an hour, and then they just opened up, Andy.
Wonderful goals. I mean, great finishes. That one opened it. Great one from Steve McManaman. That's all about Fowler. Tap in. Berger's not going to miss that, even with his right foot. And this is all about Fowler's desire. Cool finish. He liked that.
So there's pride at stake. It's a salvage operation for Newcastle United. 3 down at half-time. They have changed it. Alan Parry will tell us what they've done.
Yes, Richard, welcome back to Anfield, where Kenny Dalglish has decided in the dressing rooms at half-time to make sweeping changes. Les Ferdinand is coming on, so is David Ginola. The 2 players going off, Lee Clark and the captain, Peter Beardsley. So, if they're going to go down, they're going to go down fighting, and they're going to go for broke by the looks of it, Trevor.
Yes, it's certainly been appreciated by the supporters of Newcastle. Loud round of applause there when the 2 names were mentioned, Ginola and Ferdinand. They were coming on very disgruntled as the players walked off at half-time. The one thing that Newcastle supporters have come to expect is entertainment, and they certainly didn't get that in the first 45 minutes.
Well, a very much more adventurous look to the Newcastle lineup now. It's got to be, of course, because of that scoreline. 3 sensational Liverpool goals in the space of 13 minutes towards the end of the first half. And now, to make matters even worse for the visitors, they're attacking the top end. But it's Newcastle straight onto the attack. And that's a welcoming sign for their fans packed behind that goal. Batty finding Barton. Poor ball by Warren Barton, who hasn't started a single game in the Premiership under Kevin Keegan this season. But Kenny Dalglish has played him in most of the matches he's been in charge. McAteer finding Redknapp. Fowler to McManaman. Berger The one thing Newcastle mustn't do, of course, is concede another early on in the second half here. But to have even the faintest glimmer of a hope of making a match of it. And the one thing I'm sure, Trevor, that Roy Evans and the coaching staff here will have been stressing to Liverpool is, you might think it's over, but it isn't.
No, it's never easy when you're 2 up or even 3 up at half-time. But I would think that Liverpool midfield players will certainly enjoy the second half. Numerically, they've got the advantage over Newcastle. Newcastle now reverted to a 4-4-2 formation.
But at least there will be some genuine problems for the Liverpool defenders, one expects in this half. Asprilla fighting a lone battle in the first 45 minutes. But Liverpool still find the outlet by going wide. McManaman in a storming game. Slides it forward to Berger. Fowler! Well, if he could have taken that in his stride, Newcastle would have been on the back foot again.
Good play from McManaman, but Albert, ball watching, doesn't see Fowler getting in behind. And he's very, very fortunate that the first touch of Fowler for once lets him down, because he was in for another attempted goal.
Now on Gillespie. And Newcastle get on with it quickly. And it's good defending from Matteo. But at least Liverpool are being caused problems in their own half of the field now. Gillespie again. Newcastle get a throw. And their fans have got something to cheer. Although not a great deal. Here's Bob. Ferdinand in the middle. Didn't really connect properly with the header. There's Ferdinand.
Well, it didn't take long to get Newcastle's first attempted goal in the second half. They went 45 minutes without an attempt in the first half. It was Les Ferdinand's header that got there. It wasn't a particularly powerful header, but at least it's encouraging to start this from Newcastle. This is the way that they've been accustomed to playing. Very adventurous.
A little clash there between Batty and McManaman. Normally a very even temperament, McManaman, but something went on there on the ground that really angered him, and the yellow card is coming out. Whether it's for both players or only one remains to be seen. Certainly the first foul was by Batty, and so was the second one.
Well, England teammates are not. Doesn't seem to make any difference at the moment.
And it looked like both players were cautious in the end, which I'm not sure was terribly fair to McManaman. Batty, I think even Newcastle fans would agree, deserved his yellow card. The old sin of retaliation, getting McManaman in trouble, but he did nothing other than push him, really. McManaman again. McAteer won't reach that. But he has, in fact, by his persistence, earned Liverpool a corner. Full marks to him. And then he would have given it up as a lost cause. And Liverpool typically take the corner very quickly. Matteo winning it back again. Watson plays it forward. Ginola's first contribution is to give it away. Good ball from right to Matteo, who has space ahead of him and finds Barnes. A sloppy ball by McManaman. Ginola. There's one for Asprilla to chase. Matteo's had a very impressive match tonight.
Well, it's good covering play from Matteo. He spotted the danger.
And off Kavama. I think that's first corner of the game for Newcastle. In fact, it is. 50 minutes gone. And we've got a real threat, obviously. Peacock, Albert, and significantly now Ferdinand. James comes to claim it and got there. Good goalkeeping. Berger on the counter. Have to check. There was no one ahead of him in a red shirt. Oh, great ball. Bjorneby to McManaman. Now McAteer. Barnes. Bjorneby. Matteo hits one over the top for Fowler. He did well. Barnes. Robbie Fowler again. And he's still involved in this attack. Now McManaman. Liverpool stretch Newcastle from one side of the field to the other. McAteer. This is Redknapp. Clever little ball in. Berger's header.
Well, that was once again great build-up play from Liverpool. All started from the run of Fowler. They go from one side of the pitch to the other. McAteer in possession. Lovely little ball in from Redknapp. Once again, just look at the marking. Berger completely free. Free header. Could easily have scored.
McManaman again, and that's a great ball for Fowler. Oh, well played, Hislop.
Well, that was excellent goalkeeping there. Terrific ball from McManaman. Good run again from Fowler. Hislop had to be quick.
And Fowler's in again, but offside this time. Wright gets there ahead of his career and finds Berger. Just got there for Bjorneby, and Berger again. Matteo. Excellent play by Liverpool, it really is. This is flowed from one corner of the pitch and one end to the other. And we've got a free kick. Foul by Albert on McManaman, which looked a bit harsh to me.
Oh, I think Mr. Ellery could have played the advantage rule there. Liverpool had the extra man. Could have allowed it just to let it flow for another couple of seconds.
Not entirely sure it was a foul.
Well, if you're not sure, Alan, it definitely wasn't a foul then.
It's certainly in a threatening position here for Newcastle. Fowler takes it. Poor effort, really. He'll be the first to admit. And we understand there's going to be a third Newcastle substitute, a young man, Jimmy Crawford, who hasn't figured in the Premiership yet, made his debut as a substitute in the Coca-Cola Cup last season.
I just wonder, if Les Ferdinand is fit, Alan. Doesn't look fit to me. Whether he's got a reoccurrence of that hamstring. If they're not right, you can't be taking a chance, and Les doesn't look right to me.
Yeah, I think you could be right. He's half sort of limping away and doesn't look mobile at all. It was always touch and go whether he was going to be fit at all for tonight. And in the end, they decided only to risk him as a substitute, and it looks as though that's backfired within 10 minutes of his arrival. Meantime, Liverpool go for another, and could have had another through, who else? Robbie Fowler.
Once again, an excellent ball in. Matteo plays it absolutely perfectly onto the head of Fowler.
And while you were seeing that replay, Crawford has come on and indeed Ferdinand is the player who's gone off. Crawford's Republic of Ireland under-21 international. Midfield player who can also play in defence will obviously require yet more surgery now by Kenny Dalglish to reorganise the team for a third time.
Yes, he's obviously got that feeling when nothing is going to go right for him tonight. He's brought Ferdinand on, go 4-4-2. He's now had to go back again to 4-5-1. Asprilla's become the lone striker.
Well, if they could just get some of those out on the pitch, imagine how different it might have been.
It would help if they had Lawrenson on the pitch at the moment.
There's a real Liverpool old boys feel about the Newcastle backroom these days, with Kenny Dalglish, Terry McDermott, and of course Mark Lawrenson. Now Asprilla. Obama. Well, I can see why he's become an instant hit with the Liverpool fans. He's had a superb game. Now McManaman can release Fowler again. Berger's thundering forward in support, and Fowler almost went all the way. It was good defending from Peacock. Quite a little foot in. But Liverpool are swarming forward again here. McManaman. This is Bjornaby. Ball in the middle for the cross. Peacock meets it first. And Newcastle can't get out of their own territory at the moment. And it's suddenly become one-way traffic once again. And the top willing Liverpool forward once more here. What an important night in the season this could turn out to be. Manchester United beaten Sunderland at the weekend, and if Liverpool knocked on the business here tonight, it could have been so different. Bjornaby's shot blocked by Albert. Peacock prevents the corner. And the red wave keeps coming forward. Berger. Great play. That was a bit too flash though, the back heeler. Just keeping possession would have done there.
Well, it's quite alarming now, the amount of space that Liverpool are finding. They're not really having to search for it.
Well, it was a year ago when Newcastle United stood 7 points ahead of Manchester United in the Premiership table at the top. But they lost 1-0 to United at St James's Park, and that proved the end of their championship aspirations for that season. They never really recovered from that. And in terms of the championship, it is hard to see them recovering from this, because with an hour coming up and the glimmer of hope they had when Ferdinand was restored to the attack now gone, well, it would take a super optimist to believe Newcastle could get anything here. Redknapp. McManaman again on the chase. Oh, it's great play. Absolutely great play by McManaman. He was being held off. The referee tried to play advantage and has now given Liverpool a free kick, and he's going to produce a card.
He's already been bumped, Alan. He's very, very close to getting a red card.
I just wonder if David Ellery suddenly realised then, because he did make an involuntary movement towards his dreaded top pocket, and then I think he realised it was Batty, and maybe, quite rightly, common sense took over. It wasn't an offence that deserved a dismissal. There's lot stretching. McAteer gets there. Will he ever get that Premiership goal? Maybe tonight's the night.
Great ball again. They got the extra man over at the far post. McAteer could actually have brought it down. He had no need to play it first time. There was nobody within 10 yards of him. I think just leave it there for a minute, and I'm just going to say that David Batty's going to keep his head, because he really is risking being sent off.
McAteer's there again!
Well, he's not going to go much closer than this as it leaves his foot. It's inches wide. That would have been another fantastic goal.
Actually scored for the Republic of Ireland earlier in the season, but still can't get that Liverpool goal in the league anyway. Now, Redknapp. Oh, Liverpool have gone man over here, and the challenge by Albert is a crude one, to say the least.
Well, it was such an important tackle, this, by Albert, even though it was illegal, because Liverpool went 2-on-1. McManaman and Fowler. Only Peacock is the last man for Newcastle. A hopeless situation, but Albert came to the rescue.
And Redknapp took the free kick too quickly for the referee's liking. He scored a marvellous free kick goal here in the 4-0 win against Leeds United, I remember, 2 or 3 weeks back. And they'll probably vary it this time, you would think, would they? Bjornaby rather than Redknapp, we shall see. It is, and it's a better effort! And it's produced a marvellous save from Hislop.
Well, his shot's in at the moment. Brilliantly executed free kick from Bjornaby, but a good save from Hislop.
McManaman for Liverpool! Well, if anyone thought that the championship was all over and on its way back to Old Trafford, let them think again after this vintage Liverpool display tonight. Admittedly, a weakened Newcastle side, but you can only beat the opponents out there. And it's not just the fact that Liverpool are in front here and looking to get more goals, it's the way they have played that signals the fact that they've found their form. Here's Berger offside though. And already one looks forward to the visit of Manchester United here in April as a match that will have an absolutely vital influence on the title, you think?
Well, the war's doing absolutely nothing there. There's no point in having a war unless you're going to try and defend it. Look, it's all over the place. But a good save from Hislop. It's always going away from him. Just gets his fingertips to it. Diverts it around the near post. Good save.
Well, I know all matches are crucial at this stage of the season, but another one coming up, and another one that's live on Sky, is Arsenal against Liverpool in a couple of weeks' time at Highbury, with Arsenal definitely not out of the picture. What a match that too promises to be. What a run this is from McManaman. Just one man too far in the end. Any thoughts of Liverpool taking their foot off the pedal have been well and truly dismissed by the way they played in the last 10 minutes or so. But Newcastle had made a bright start to the second half, but the departure of Ferdinand has changed the picture back in Liverpool's favour again.
But the way that Newcastle set their stall out in the second half, Alan, with just one up again, it invites you to go forward. You've got no option.
And the young lad Crawford who's come on, I'm not even sure he's managed to get a touch of the ball yet.
Well, he's virtually playing as an extra left back.
There's Barnes for Liverpool. McManaman on to Redknapp. And the Fowler dummy was not so successful this time as it was in producing a Liverpool goal in the first half. Well, they can't even hold it up now. Espria seems to give up the ghost on that one, but he's got to keep running again now. Ginola. Well, it's getting to be a frustrating night this for Newcastle. A lovely little change of pace. Brilliant run. Berger. Barnes. McManaman's there again. Barnes tries his luck. And that wasn't far wide. In fact, the keeper got a fingertip to it. Corner. The
just before that, you know, Berger never realised he had too much space. Look at that, he had just turned on it. Obviously didn't get a call, but just look at the time and the space that Liverpool have got. Just pick and choose what they want to do. I think they'll have a little shot there, says Bonzi.
Well, it's hard to see how Newcastle can keep Liverpool at bay here. Wright comes storming in. I tell you what, if there's one man who can be proud of his contribution tonight, it's his lot. Foul there by Ginola and Matteo.
You're right about Hislop. That was an excellent catch and a good kick. He realised that Asprilla was one-on-one. He's not been in that situation too many times tonight, so that's why he kicked it nice and early.
Certainly couldn't have faulted him on any of the goals, and he's made a couple of splendid saves. This is going to seem an awful long 25 minutes for Newcastle and their supporters, I fear. McManaman tries to slide Fowler in again. There's one for Asprilla to chase. Cavani gets there first. McAteer's given it back. Now Asprilla's in a good position. Wilford had to, he felt he had to check though, and the momentum is gone now. And Berger, I judge to have been leaning into Ginola then. Watson. Barton got away from his man and did well. Well, I think there'll be a few contenders for man of the match tonight, and Bjornaby is another one who's had a faultless game. And here he is again, looking for Fowler down the line. Liverpool's throw. "55 passes he's made, and all but 7 of them found the correct target.
Best pass of the lot was the one where he got the first goal. Where he passed it to the back of the net.
Yeah. McAteer. Fowler couldn't get that at stretch. Peacock for Newcastle. And they've given it away again, but so has McAteer. Ginola. Asprilla makes a run for him. Barnes got back to dispossess him though. There's no good standing there with that sort of Gallic shrug. He's got to get on with it and work hard to win the ball back. Bjornaby. Great running again from McManaman. It could be a marathon run of this lad. Berger. In it goes to the back post where Fowler lies in wait. And for once couldn't control it.
Once again, Berger in the inside left position had the opportunity to turn on it.
Good run by Asprilla. He's totally surrounded by Liverpool players. It was like Rourke's drift there for Asprilla. Everywhere he looked was the enemy. And here's Asprilla again. Wright's clearance. Albert, picked up by Gillespie. It's a good effort, and a mistake by David James has given Newcastle a goal. Gillespie the scorer. He's had nothing to do all night, now he's got to pick the ball out of the net.
Well, at last Newcastle got a shot on goal. Good play this from Gillespie. Good shot, should have been saved though from James. That's a comfortable save it should have been. Goes down, lets it go through his hands.
And to make it worse, the Newcastle fans taunt David James with a shout of dodgy keeper. He's not exactly that, but they'll be furious about that error in a game in which he's had so little to do. Gillespie's first goal for a year, and Newcastle at least has made an impression on the score sheet. They're trying to commit suicide in their own penalty area at the moment. And that might sting Liverpool into retaliation. Redknapp tries to open it up and does with a beautiful ball. McAteer couldn't quite come inside Crawford, who did well there, the youngster. Well, have we counted Newcastle out too early? Another goal now, then would be interesting, wouldn't it, just? Ginola. That's a goal kick. You've got a lot of candidates for man of the match tonight, and the phone number to ring with your vote is 0891 111101. That's 0891 111101. Well, with 18 minutes to go, perhaps we're in for an unexpected twist in this game. What a difference a goal makes. Suddenly Newcastle have made Liverpool look a bit edgy at the back. And maybe Liverpool will be thinking they need another goal to calm things down again. Here's McManaman, the man who could provide it. What a run by McManaman. Berger takes it off him and then sets it up for Redknapp.
What a run that was from McManaman, just went on and on. Once again, it's back to Berger. This time it's an excellent bit of vision, finds Redknapp, and just chokes his shot.
The attendance at Anfield tonight, incidentally, over 40,700. And the capacity will rise to 45,000 when that new stand I mentioned earlier is finally completed. It'll be that end of the ground, the Anfield Road end. Batty with another overhit pass. And McManaman perhaps feeling the effect of that last run or tackle. But he recovers very quickly. Got a remarkable record as well of over 100 consecutive matches before he missed one recently. Again. Hook down on the heel. A gift that Newcastle are grateful for, but now Batty's given it away. And I wonder if Roy Evans would consider trying to inflict final punishment on Newcastle by introducing Stan Collymore in the last quarter of an hour. Ginola with a good ball for Batty. Peacock. Gillespie making a run down the right. Matteo read it well. Barnes. And here goes the irrepressible McManaman again. Redknapp wins the challenge against Ginola. And we're into that last 15 minutes now, with the Newcastle fans trying to lift their team to another goal that might cause a nervy finale here for Liverpool. Oh, brilliant skill by McManaman. Fowler. He's overrun it again.
Yeah, he took the wrong option, did Robbie. Should have come out of the pack, he went back into it. There were two men on his right-hand side, McManaman and Berger, but he wasn't aware of it.
Redknapp spreads play again. Terrific vision and accuracy to find McAteer and now Berger. We'll fancy a pop here, I suspect, if we can get that gap. Oh, Shaka Hislop gets away with a mishandling. Newcastle get away with a corner.
He's interested as he shot here. Hislop makes a mess of it, and at the other end, David James immediately turns round and has a wry smile at the Newcastle supporters who've been taunting him for the last 10 minutes.
Bit of luck with Hislop on this occasion. But he deserved it the way he's played. Bjorneby lifts the corner up towards right, and the referee has seen something no one else did. Free kick.
Yes, it was a foul he gave against Robbie Fowler.
Good spot. Elliott looks for a Sprea. And Kavama won the header. McManaman again. Leapt over that ball, but Bjorneby couldn't reach it in time. And a very strong contender, I would have thought, for the man of the match award, Steve McManaman. Bjorneby has done very well and all down that left flank. Hard to pick a weakness in Liverpool's performance tonight. Sprea on the run here, right the defender. Took no risks. Quite right. You pardon the pun. It's been a strange second half. And suddenly Liverpool are on the back foot again. Albert. Elliott. Sprea in the box. Took it well. Straight against Redknapp, and Liverpool break clear. Fowler, McManaman. Oh dear, not what Liverpool wanted at that moment. Ginola.
That's not what Sprea wanted either.
No.
He's up against there, and Kavama, one of the quickest players on the Liverpool side. His recovery is excellent. He really has been impressive tonight.
He has proved to be an excellent signing. He's actually, strictly speaking, on a free transfer as well under the Bosman ruling.
I have to say, he's not had a real test tonight against Newcastle. He's got to be that up front, but what he's had to do, he's done it very, very well.
Matteo playing it long for Fowler. Newcastle's throw. Let's remind you that just 24 hours away is another epic in the making when Wimbledon take on Leicester in the second leg of their Coca-Cola Cup semi-final. 0-0 in the first leg 3 weeks ago at Filbert Street. All to play for there. There has to be a winner on the night. Our programme on Sky Sports 3 begins at 7:30. Newcastle have a corner here. 10 minutes to go. I wonder. Coming up towards Peacock. And produces a brilliant save. It might have actually hit Redknapp on the way through, but Let's have a look.
Free header for Watson.
Yeah, it did. I thought James had got a hand to it, but it hit Redknapp.
I can't understand why the referee's given a go. Well, he's given a free kick, hasn't he?
Yeah, he did. Well, only he knows why, but a bit of drama over. Newcastle go back to defending again, and not very impressively there with Albert. What a frustrating night for Kenny Dalglish on his first return as a manager since that day when Blackburn Rovers won the championship here a couple of years ago. Fowler for Liverpool. Finding Barnes. Bjornaby. Redknapp. McManaman. Berger makes a little run to take the defender away from him. And McManaman gets it back. But Hislop quick to spot the danger and quick to release it, but straight at Matteo. Newcastle's throw. 9 minutes to go. There's a sloppy ball from Ginola. McAteer. And again McAteer. 3 in the box. He's had to go square though to Kavama, and now Barnes. Bjornaby. And this is Berger. Good ball. McManaman. Down the outside is Redknapp. And it's a good cross for Barnes. Headed clear by Gillespie. Fowler in there to try and win it back. This is Berger, and now McAteer. Redknapp's cross is a poor one.
Once again, Hislop gives it away.
And once again, so does Matteo, amazingly, yeah. A repeat of a minute or so earlier. 7 minutes remaining here. And it almost always happens, doesn't it, when a team scores 2 or 3 goals in the first half, but they find it hard to add to that total in the second. And that's what's happened to Liverpool tonight. At one stage, it looked as though they were going to overwhelm Newcastle. It hasn't happened, and it's Newcastle who've got a goal back and got a tiny, tiny glimmer of hope.
Yes, it looks like they're going to be overwhelmed at the start of the second half when Newcastle were playing 4-4-2. But since Ferdinand has gone off and they've gone back to 4-5-1, it made it more difficult now for Liverpool to try and prise open their defence. They're virtually playing once again as they were in the first half with 6 at the back. And it's been difficult for Liverpool.
Six minutes on the clock. White wins the header. Barton pumping it back in again, and very good defending by White. To have the presence of mind to do that, well, impressive. Barnes just helping it on to Matteo. Redknapp. Another glorious ball from Redknapp for McAteer. He's got a bit of work to do to get there, and did, but couldn't do much more with it. Just overhit it that time, Redknapp, but he's sprayed the ball about beautifully at times. Barnes threads it through to Redknapp. On to McAteer. 5 minutes to go. McManaman. And Liverpool go across the field again, but crucially keep possession, and that's all that really matters now. 5 minutes to go. Newcastle's hopes ticking away by the second. Here's McManaman. Now Redknapp looks for Fowler in the box. The linesman is flagged for offside. And he's lost in a bit of trouble to get that one away.
There's the thing on that occasion. Sure, Newcastle would have appreciated if Mr. Henry had blown up for a free kick. Certainly his luck would have. Not an easy ball to deal with.
Oh dear. Redknapp's lead has crumbled to a very precarious position. Just as well for them, there's so little remaining.
And what a great goal. I think it was Redknapp who lost possession. Ginola was quick to exploit it, using the pace of Asprilla, in behind Mark Wright.
Well, Asprilla haven't scored in the Premiership since the corresponding match last season, would you believe? And what a moment. 3 minutes to go, and all of a sudden, Liverpool, instead of cruising to victory, are in the football equivalent of the nervous 90s now. Ginola goes down and gets a free kick, and Liverpool have cast aside 2/3 of a commanding lead. No wonder the glum faces. Well, we had a dramatic end to the match a year ago, when Liverpool, of course, scored virtually in stoppage time through Stan Collymore, what proved to be the winning goal. Will we have more drama again a year on? Well, we've already had it in one sense. But with 3 minutes to go, as someone once said, it's not all over yet. And here goes Asprilla, Cavana, and suddenly James is in a mess. And would you believe it? Newcastle have done it. Warren Barton slides it in. Liverpool's defence in tatters. And incredibly, Newcastle United have drawn level with 2 minutes to go.
Well, I can't believe what I'm seeing, Alan. Absolutely incredible. Great challenge from Barton. Asprilla does his bit. Barton's in. I don't know whether he got the touch. I'm sure he'll claim it. It could possibly have been an own goal. Let's have a look. Well, I'm not sure, but David James is all over the place.
A terrible mess of a goal. And even they can't believe this. Well, football never ceases to amaze you, does it? 5 minutes to go, 3-1 to Liverpool, keeping possession in the Newcastle half. Newcastle, I'm sure, had almost resigned themselves to defeat. Now it's 3-3. And with stoppage time still to be added, there could be a winner, and they could get it. They're in the driving seat suddenly. And they've got men forward again here. And Wright only just scrambles it clear. And the linesman is flagged, and Liverpool have a free kick and a relief for them. Well, a year ago, the worried faces were at the Newcastle end. The dejection at the moment centres on the Liverpool stands and terraces here, and indeed down on the bench.
Can you imagine what United are thinking in Arsenal at this moment, Alan? Absolutely unbelievable.
Oh, what a night they've had. And I think they were all guilty of thinking that Liverpool were home and dry, including them, perhaps. Redknapp with the free kick. Is there to be a winner again? Right at the end here. Not with a free kick like that, there isn't.
I don't think they were guilty, Alan. I think Roy Evans knows who was guilty. It's just been complacency from the players. This game was in the bag. It was all over. Should never been allowed to come back, Newcastle.
Well, Collymore, who got that winner, of course, a year ago, can now only look on and wonder how on earth his teammates have thrown away a 3-goal lead here in a fashion that I cannot remember seeing for a long, long time. And this is the best defence in the Premiership, remember. And they're in trouble again here, but the offside flag has saved them. Well, you run out of superlatives to describe the matches between these two. And here's another candidate. How have Liverpool thrown this one away? All credit to Newcastle, but it never even looked like a comeback was on the cards with 5 minutes to go, let's be honest. We've got to get the ball in the box again here, and up goes Berg, and they've done it! Oh, incredible power! It's a repeat Tour and Liverpool are back in front! I don't believe it, I really don't. More than Newcastle, they do now, and surely they won't make any more mistakes.
What about this for a cross of Bjornemy? Absolutely perfect. And a fantastic header from Fowler. There's enough defenders to deal with it, but he really attacks it and gets his reward. He really wants to score here and win the game for Liverpool. What a finish.
The emotions of these players and supporters have seesawed so dramatically in the last few minutes. And it's all over. Fowler, just like Collingwood did a year ago, has scored the winner in the dying seconds. And I have to say, over the 90 minutes, justice has been done. Liverpool deserved to win this one. They so nearly shot themselves in the foot with horrendous defensive mistakes to let Newcastle back into it. But that Robbie Fowler goal has brought them to within 1 point of Manchester United at the top of the table.